Hello and welcome to DG360. What do? Well, we like to have fun, number one. So if you're somebody who doesn't like that, just get to stepping because I don't want you here. But if you do like to have fun, hi. Well, what do? We're a community of people, like-minded usually. Some people not like-minded. Some people very anti-minded. And, you know, we're still friends with them. I'm not even sure exactly what I'm talking about right now. It's probably because my mustache has taken over my body and my brain. But we are people that pick things that interest us. And we say, well, what's this? And we watch it together. We're an algorithm, spelled with rhythm and dance and love. Now, on to this particular video that we're going to watch that you picked out. This gentleman, it's Ray's Guide. This is my internet father. Now we had a long talk about this. People who are in the know, you understand why he's my internet father. He literally birthed me. It was very painful. Let me tell you, it's a very painful thing. But I am here as his son, and just like my father did in real life when he was alive, he would always temper my expectations. You know, just kind of give me a reality check like a father should do, you know, just sit you down and slow you down a little bit and give you a reality check. This is what a good father is supposed to do. And this, he's saying, how suspicious should we be regarding feature complete in Squadron 42? Let's check it out.
Hello, this is Danny Raymond, the voice behind Ray's Guide. In the heady, hype-tastic days before the launch of Starfield, I made a video titled, Why Do So Many Games Disappoint? And I said that was because we get too drawn into the hype and fail to apply an appropriate level of suspicion, and let our imaginations get carried away by how great we hope things will be. And the game companies obviously want us to be excited about their upcoming games, or even more so, we want to be excited about their upcoming games. Do any of the thousands of people attending suscon pay their money because they wanted to be cynical and sanguine at the end? Of course.
So we were just talking about being a fan, you know? I like where Ray's coming on this one. Thank you, Doug, like a boss. Look at you, man. Look at you. Look at you, man. Look at you.
Of course not. We can do that at home for free. And if anybody did leave suscon sanguine and cynical, I didn't see them. But what really was the appropriate level of suscon at sitcon? Well, of course, it varies. If you went in and played in the Pyro Playground, that was suscon 0, your own personal experience. If you watch someone try to hold a camera in front of the screen and stream their playing in the Pyro Playground, that would be suscon 1, continuous unedited play sessions. The demonstrations during the show that were live and spontaneous were also suscon 1. Highly edited game session footage is suscon 3, and the in-engine footage is suscon 4. And most of what were shown in those play footage sections were suscon 3 and 4 levels. Suscon 5 is folks saying stuff, and suscon 6 is concept art and such. Which brings me to one of the big headlines of suscon, the announcement that Squadron 42 is feature complete.
We are feature complete on Squadron 42.
They're all taking it with a grain of salt. Some of the people in the front row, they're like, listen, I've been following this for 10 years. I'm just gonna clap like this, right? These are new members. They've only been involved with Star Citizen for a year or two. And they're like, yeah. These guys up front, about 10 years. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Half Sack. You can tell. First off, let me just say how happy I am here to be here tonight. Thank you very much for chilling out and having a good time with me. If you're live, thank you. If you're on YouTube watching, try and get here live. It's always a fun time. You can tell the length and duration of a Star Citizen fan by this. This is a great litmus test. You can go around and you can, after that announcement, you can kind of tell. Front row, about 8 to 10 years. This row, 1 to 2 years. When they're up and they're like this, they've been listen, I remember, go young blood. I'm just like an old dog watching you. I'm gonna, can I applaud these two right now? I just wanna, it's.
What suscon level is that? Does it deserve to be suscon 5? Bear in mind that there is no standard of what feature complete actually means. No independent firm will review the code and issue a statement that the statement of completeness represents generally accepted accounting principles applied on a consistent basis. There is no promise that something isn't going to show up during polishing that simply can't be polished but has to be refactored. Shit happens even in the polishing phase.
Yep.
There's no promise that what CIG is calling feature complete is what you would call feature complete.
Right.
What is being declared feature complete because it really met some milepost or because the timing of CitizenCon. It's not as though they gave a date.
I am not, you will not get a release date from me today because...
But I will say the reason why, to be fair, that Chris is not giving a date is because he's notoriously bad at giving dates. So if you're new to the project, Chris has given dates on many occasions and they haven't come through until the point where his actual employees told him to STFU. Essentially what ended up happening is Chris gave so many dates and was wrong so many times and brought so much badness to Cloud Imperium and the employees there that the employees revolted, locked the door to his office, and tickle tortured him for 12 hours straight until he promised not to give any more dates out. So that is the current status, and this is where we're at. However, because he got to this point where he was not going to give dates, I feel very confident in saying that it's very close, because otherwise he would not have even mentioned it.
First of all, you always get very angry at me when I give dates.
Yes.
Although if they do spend 2 years polishing, it better be super high gloss mirror finish at the end, right? But is there anything that should fine-tune that suscon 5 level? Well, two things. The first is whether there's a history of making unmet claims. Well, just let's leave to saying that CIG's history in that regard has many black marks. The second is whether there are other actions that the company is taking that is consistent with that statement. Or as every grandparent has said at some time or other, actions speak louder than words. And in this regard, there are in fact several. The first was in the announcement itself, that they were reorganizing into self-sufficient strike teams. This is significant because while it's easy to make marketing statements and press releases, reorganizing takes hard work and has large follow-on effects.
And is not fake news, because there's way too many people involved in a statement like that. The company then does reorganize as according to their announcement. That 9 out of 10 a company's not going to do that type of or make that announcement unless they do it. There's just way too many people involved. I did see some people saying, "Oh, they're just bullshitting," blah 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 blah. They're not bullshitting. And you know what? That is actually I like to see that. I've always said personally that I would like to see more organization and better lines of communication inside of Cloud Imperium. And I know this firsthand because of who I'm talking to on the insides with multiple different Cloud Imperium employees, some of them being devs, that have all said that there are times where, communication could be a lot better. And of course, I mean, it wasn't the greatest before Rona, so like when Rona hit in and then you got all these teams that are working out of the office, and then now everybody's kind of coming back in, there's going to be some level of confusion in any professional workspace. It's just, that's especially as big as Cloud Imperium is, and with the multiple locations, you just got to expect that.
And why would they do this? Well, you may recall one of the more common reasons when they mentioned when features get delayed, for example, most recently when they described how the Santok Yai didn't clear gray box, was support from other teams.
In this case, it's just there's a lot going on right now that we're working on in the background, right, and we weren't able to get the level of support that we were hoping to get.
That doesn't matter when the final date is not critical. If the Santok did not make it in one quarterly release, it would just move to the next one. But when there is a target of a finish all date, having something slip because there is a lack of cross-discipline support, it has direct impact on the entire project. So self-sufficient strike teams means that a problem does not have to work across organizational boundaries in order to get what it needs to complete a problem. You do that when solving problems quickly has become a priority. The second thing was they're promising to have many of these Squadron 42 developed technologies available soon and not requiring Squadron to be completed first.
Through next year. So it's not going to be gated on having to be after Squadron 42. So we are...
And this represents something new in our understanding of CIG's motives, or maybe the motives themselves have changed. Squadron has been very spoiler sensitive, as one would expect from a plot-driven game, but we presume that having so much in the development effort being shifted to Squadron also meant that they wanted to have our first experiences of those features to be in Squadron 42, so as not to spoil the impact of those features. For example, that our first experience of being in an Idris.
I think in this respect, what Chris is talking about has more to do with networking. And because Squadron 42 isn't relying on any networking or any meshing in that regards, that this is exactly what perhaps is happening in that particular statement. I could be wrong on that. That's just me speculating.
Would be in Squadron 42. But from Chris's statements, it seems that as far as the underlying technology was concerned, they were more motivated by taking it out of the pressure of having to develop things while still having them live in the game.
To show you a lot of this, one of the advantages of being able to go and iterate on these features in Squadron was that we were able to do it without having to release every 3 months and make sure the old system worked while the new system was working.
And I can sympathize with that. My first job leaving college was with a firm involved with part of the project of turning Los Angeles International Airport from being a 1-level airport to a 2-level airport. And one of the inside jokes in the firm was we could have done the whole thing in a third of the time and a third of the cost if they had just let us shut down the airport for 6 months. But building an airport while operating the airport was necessary, and so much of the having to build a game while playing the game.
I mean, especially if it's LAX. I mean, like, I don't know. You can't shut down LAX for 6 months. If that's the one he's referring to, I'm not sure, Ray. You know, but like, I couldn't even imagine LAX being closed for like a day or two.
Game. Now, this CitizenCon, many of the engine technologies were described as being on their way to us this year.
So we're planning over the Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 of next year. Hopefully, everything that we've shown you, you will have in your hands playing inside Star Citizen.
And that they're switching from needing to work on the features intensely with the freedom to occasionally break them in order to fix them, to being able, or even wanting, to have them be tested by the broadest range of situations.
You see how he's tempering your expectations? This is why he's my internet father. This is what your internet father's there for. This is why Ray's good for you, you know? This is exactly what my dad used to do. I used to come in running all excited about something. My dad would be like, hold on a second, DJ. And trust me, he was always doing that because I looked very strange as a child. I literally had this face with a soul patch at the age of like 5. I don't want to get into that story. It's painful. It's embarrassing. However, on this particular occasion, he just say, hold it down because I was so excited. And then he would tell me the reasons why I shouldn't be excited. And that is what a good father does. He just shits all over your expectations and your dreams. Fathers, take... This is terrible advice, Pepe. I think my mustache is taking over again. I don't think this is me talking right now. My mustache makes me a different person. It makes me a different person. Damn it, mustache. Do you see why Christy just doesn't hate the aesthetics? This is my girlfriend. She just doesn't hate the aesthetics of the mustache. Trust me, she's plenty upset about what's going on. I love it personally. It's an experience. But she's also upset because it changes my personality. I become a different person. So please keep me in check. I will lose who I am as you know me to DG Stashman. It's scaring me a little bit.
Which means that the feature is in the polishing phase now. But there's a third thing, and that is when...
Ostentatious. I like what Ostentatious says, don't be excited because these features will fall apart under server meshing. Nice stash. Well, thank you very much, Austin. Austin also being an internet father. You understand? This is how you be a father.
Todd Pappy said that they would begin developing the base building system in the first quarter of next year.
We start development Q1.
But what does the base building have to do with Squadron 42? Absolutely nothing. Completely nothing. And that
just wait till
is
it's
the whole
full-blown
point.
stash,
Because
Sanders.
it's going to take a lot of programmers to make the base building system, particularly core gameplay programmers. And you may recall 2 years ago, the core gameplay pillar, as well as some other teams, were directed to be focused exclusively on Squadron 42. So soon, a whole bunch of gameplay programmers are coming available, and there is nothing in Squadron 42 for them to work on. Because remember, they had been directed to work exclusively on Squadron 42. So if they can now be working on something not at all related to Squadron 42, what does that say about Squadron 42? Yes, it says Squadron 42 is feature complete. Now you can also point to the roadmap and progress tracker as confirming this, but honestly I regard the public-facing presentations of the roadmap and progress tracker as marketing documents, not managerial documents.
I needed that.
Nobody inside CIG has managed their departments based on what the public-facing roadmap is saying. Moreover, and this is a mistake that many other content creators make, the progress tracker does not measure progress. Despite its name, it measures work assignments, and perhaps not actually reflecting what is going on behind the doors. So while I can still say that the statements that Squadron 42 is feature complete is still suscon 5, after all, there's still so much that can still go sideways, even if their intent and even belief that it is feature complete. But from the surrounding evidence, there is plenty of reasons to regard it as genuine and not just manipulation. Now, for now,
yeah, there's a lot of reasons actually, and the primarily speaking, I can read body language fairly well. I was in sales for a very long time. You have to actually understand who you're speaking to, their emotions. You have to be very adept at like picking up on body language when you're in sales. And I'm telling you, everybody I saw at CitizenCon was extremely nervous. There was a lot of anxiety, but behind it all, they were all very excited. They were all very excited to present what it is that they are working on. And that type of passion is what I am grounded in when I'm talking about the progress that Cloud Imperium's getting into here. You've got a lot of devs who are very proud of the work that they're doing, and they should be proud of that work. And it's nice to see them be so positive and happy. I saw it through the entire CitizenCon event. The girl that was working on all the new animations, oh my God, I loved her. She was so anxious but so excited. You guys remember? I can't remember her name. Forgive me. She was fantastic. The dude that was working on Star Hair dude was happy. Okay, Star Cloth dude, happy. Pappy, happy. Happy. They were all happy in their own way. Even that one German dude, Bone was happy. How can we forget Bone? Bone was happy. You know, when Bone's happy, everybody's happy. That's just facts.
An update on our giveaways. We have our IAE Week giveaway for the winner's choice of the Galaxy Complete, the massive modular mining moving medical making machine, and the brand new big box bargain bazaar, otherwise known as the Merchman. One entry per video. Just be a member and be entered automatically. Or subscribe and comment, some including the secret word. And the secret word for this video is what speaks louder than words. Fly safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the verse. This is Danny Raymond for Ray's Guide.
One of the devs there, his name was Bone, Elsie, if you're wondering. And Elsie's like, Bone? All right. I am having way too much fun. Pepe, next.